wabarakatuh. Hello everybody, with me Zahrina ULFA as the first speaker. Now we discuss teachers' beliefs. So first, the study of teachers' beliefs. The study of teachers' beliefs has been an intense area of research in language teaching in the last 15 years. So here, beliefs are often studied under the broader heading of teacher cognition, which also includes related constructs such as attitudes and knowledge. So the figure here is the figure of the growth of research into language teachers' beliefs. So it shows the number of social science articles with teachers' beliefs and language in the title, abstract, or keywords that were published and which are cited in Scopus between 2000 and May 2014. So the total of articles are 210. Next, in the 1970s, the teaching was conceived of as a largely behavior activity and little consideration was given to the mental side of teaching. But in 1980s, it changed by the developments in cognitive psychology. Here, teaching was shaped by teachers' thoughts, judgments, and beliefs. Also, many individual studies suggest that teachers' beliefs about teaching learning such as may be powerfully influenced by teachers' own experiences as learners and are well established by the time teachers go to university, act as a filter through which teachers interpret new information and experience and influence how teachers react to educational change. Now, it is within this broader context of educational research on teachers' beliefs that the study of second language teachers' beliefs has emerged since the mid-1990s. So we should know what is the definition of beliefs. Here I take two definitions. First, Richardson, 1996, defines beliefs as psychologically held understandings, premises, or propositions about the world that are felt to be true. And the second, from Murphy and Mason, 2006, define beliefs as all that one accepts or wants to be true. Others also said that beliefs can be defined as an individual's judgment of the truth or falsity of a proposition. In short, beliefs do not require verification and often cannot be verified. Here, we come to research on second language teachers' beliefs. This figure summarizes the focus, context, and sample of 20 recent studies of second language teachers' belief. This is based on our book, Research Method in Applied Linguistics. So the body of work focuses on identifying the beliefs teachers hold about a wide range of issues. From this table, we can see that 11 of the studies examine teachers' classroom practices. The comparison of teachers' stated beliefs and reported or actual practices is a recurrent theme in this part of the 20 studies. First, 10 are qualitative, 3 quantitative, and 7 mixed method. So interviews are here the most common strategy occurring in 15 studies. So here we can see the tables. The focus are such as teachers' beliefs about teaching English academic purpose to low-level students, beliefs and practices regarding learning autonomy of English foreign language teachers, and others. Okay, maybe enough here my explanation, and next will be continued by my friends.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Ayunida GUSTRIANI. As the second speaker of Group 4, will continue to explain research method. So there are 5 research methods available for the teacher's belief study. They are oral accounts, self-report instrument, observation, written accounts, and visual method. And we come to the first method, that is oral accounts. Oral accounts is research methods which elicit teachers' belief through spoken accounts produced by respondents. The most obvious form of oral account is the interview. Interviews seek to elicit belief by getting teachers to talk. One important methodological point is explicitly asking teachers to articulate their belief. For example, by asking questions such as "What are your beliefs about blah 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 blah?" is not considered to be a productive strategy. So it is necessary for us to ask the teacher indirectly. And another methodological problem that arises when teachers are asked directly about their beliefs in an interview is that of context. A distinction between beliefs that reflect ideals and those that reflect reality. When teachers' beliefs are elicited in an abstract context, they are most likely to reflect ideals. For this reason, it is valuable to create interview contexts, such as stimulus recalls and photo-based interview. Stimulated recall is a form of interview where oral accounts are elicited with the help of stimulus, typically a video of the respondent's teaching. This strategy provides a concrete context for the elicitation of teachers' belief and ensures that these are grounded in actual observed events rather than abstraction. And oral narrative, extended spoken accounts which can take the form of autobiographies and stories. Narrative represent in their own words and in substantial details teachers' lived experiences and may focus on the past as well as the present. And the third, photo-based interviewing. It is involved an interview situation where the discussion is guided by the photographs, typically taken by respondents. And the last is think aloud protocol. It is an oral elicitation strategy through which the respondents verbalize what they are thinking while they complete a task. During think aloud protocol, respondents are asked to describe what they are doing, not to explain their behavior. And the second research method is self-report instruments. Self-report instrument include any form of questionnaire, inventory, checklist, and theoretical profiling tool, which seeks to measure teachers' belief. They provide a relatively economical and very flexible way of collecting large amounts of data quickly and from respondents in diverse geographical contexts. In this research design, which use self-instrument, also can arise methodological problem. The first is about the quality of questionnaire. So the first requirement to use questionnaire and similar tools to study teachers' belief is to ensure the researcher is understand theoretically and in practice how to design a robust instrument. And the second critique about the use of self-report instrument is that their limitations, which are widely discussed in the literature, are very often overlooked. For example, in their review of research method in studying belief, Kane, Sanreto, and Head 2002 note that closed questionnaire can constrain what respondents say, lead respondents to give particular answer, and prompt answer that reflect what respondents feel is the right or expected answer rather than what they believe. Okay, that's all from me. And for the next research method will be explained by Citra.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Citra. I will continue Ayu's explanations about research method in researching teacher belief. Before that, Ayus has explained about there are some type of research method in researching teacher belief, such as oral accounts, self-report instruments, and now I will continue the next type of research method in researching teacher belief. The first one is observation. In observation, the researcher can be participant or non-participant, and the data can be captured using video, audio, or field notes. The strength of observations in observation allow for the collection of direct evidence about what happened in the classroom. This evidence can then provide the starting point for a grounded analysis of teacher belief. At the same time, observation alters the context under study and causes activity, changes in the behavior of those being observed. For this reason, repeated rather than one-off observation of teaching are recommended on the assumption that the activity decreases over time as teachers become accustomed to the presence of the observer. In studies of teacher belief, observation is often combined with other data collection strategies, particularly with interviews. Now we come to the next type of research method in researching teacher belief. The next type is written accounts. Teacher belief can also be elicited via written account produced by teachers themselves and in response to specific questions or prompts. The term account implies that an extended volume of text is being produced, and the use of written account is thus most appropriate where teachers' beliefs are being studied qualitatively. Written account can take many forms such as open questionnaire responses, diaries, or interpretive commentaries and autobiographical narrative. Now we discuss the first form in written account. The first form is open-ended questionnaire items. Open-ended questionnaire item is one that allows respondents to answer the question in any way they want to and encourage them to do so in a relatively extended manner. The major disadvantage of open-ended questions is that they require more time and effort of the respondent, and for this reason, advice on good questionnaire design generally recommended that such questions be used sparingly. The next form of written account is diaries. Diaries are another strategy which can be used to elicit extended written accounts from teachers and which provide insight into their belief. There are positive side and negative side in diaries. In positive side, they are flexible and provide detailed information about specific experience while these are still fresh in the writer's mind. While in less positively, the volume and quality of the writing that diaries produce can vary. Diary writing requires commitment on the writer's part, and the analysis of large volumes of written text can be problematic. And the last form in written account is interpretive commentaries. Interpretive commentaries are written text through which teachers explain the belief that underpins some facts of their behavior or which provide the basis for their evaluation of an object or event. For example, teacher may be given a sample of teaching material and asked to write about what they like or don't like about it, with explanation for their opinions. Or as in the recent study by Bock et al. In 2014, which discussed for the bill. Student-teacher first draft picture to represent by their belief about effective EFL lesson and then produce written commentaries in which they explain what their belief picture means. Now we come to the next type of research method that we can use in researching teacher belief. The next is visual methods. The final option for studying teacher belief is visual method. Although there is a thriving literature on the use of visual methods in social science research more generally, Examples of their use in language teaching and teacher education context remain rare. Spencer in 2011 explained visual data take many forms and can occur naturally, be created by researchers or by respondents. The focus here is utilize drawing produced by respondents to examine their belief. Drawing can be valuable in the study of teacher belief because, as Weber and Michel in 1996 state that drawing offer a different kind of glimpse into human sense-making than written or spoken text do, because they can express that which is not easily put into words. The ineffable, the elusive, and the not yet talked through the subconscious. Kalaja, Dufa, and Alanen in 2013 stated that most teachers depicted themselves as facilitators of learning rather than controlling the class from a central position. And the other side, Board et al. In 2014 stated that the teacher candidates' beliefs were conferred and extended rather than the subject to any radical reform. So in conclusion, we can say that drawing provides a limited basis on which inference about teachers' belief can be made. One another challenge that the use of visual method related to the data analysis and researchers will need to be familiarize themselves with, or indeed develop new approach to analysis through which visual data can be studied. So that's all from me. Let's come to the next speaker. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here I'm Deni Kurniawan. I will continue explanation from my friends from our group 4 in language research method, and I will explain about a sample study. So that begins in the first part of the slide in the PowerPoint. So the first one is sampling. What is sampling that we have to know in here? So sampling is the process of selecting a number of individuals or for a study in such a way that the individuals represent the large group from which they were selected. And sample can contains study population and target population. So the purpose of sampling is to gather the data about the population in order to make an inference that can be generalized to the population. According to Field 2005, a sample is a smaller but hopefully representative collection of units from a population used to determine truths about the population. Now we move on into the next slide. So in here we will explain a bit about quantitative and qualitative sampling. So we have to know, and we all know about the quantitative and qualitative sampling. So quantitative sampling is the purpose of quantitative sampling is to identify participants from whom to seek some information, and issues, nature of sample or random samples, size of the samples, and method of selecting the sample. And qualitative sampling is researchers in qualitative research select their participant and according to their characteristic and knowledge according to here. So qualitative sampling, like we know about the interview, and quantitative sampling we know about the when we want to collect the data we will use the questionnaire and something like that. And now we move on in the last section about conclusion. So in here about English language teachers' conceptions of research from Simon Brock, Applied Linguistics, in our book. So this article examines the conceptions of research held by 505 teachers of English from 13 countries around the world. Questionnaires, responses supplemented by follow-up written and interview data were analyzed to understand teachers' view on what research is and how often they read and do it, and why or why not in each case. An understanding of these issues is central to development of informed policies for promoting teachers' research engagement, but relevant systematic evidence is lacking in the field of English language teaching, or ELT. So that's all our group presentation and explanation about this topic. And if you have a question and answer or additional information, we will discuss after this. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.